November 8, 2025. Along the fortified border of Kaliningrad, a bitter Baltic wind swept the Russian sentries. The sky was gray, Su-27 flankers patrolled as usual, until a strange blip appeared on Chernihikovsk Air Base radar. Operators leaned in. Was it a glitch, birds, or something they'd only trained for in theory? Senior officers arrived, faces grim. The signal was too fast for a drone, too cold for a jet, an enigma. The blip danced on the edge of detection, taunting the S-400 air defense systems. Soldiers on patrol felt the tension. Urgent commands replaced routine chatter. They searched the sky but saw nothing. The enemy was invisible, a phantom mocking their defenses. This wasn't an attack, but a demonstration. We can watch you, and you can't stop us. The incident, first a classified whisper, exploded into headlines. Unidentified aircraft probes Russian border. Speculation ran wild. Stealth bomber, hypersonic missile. The world watched, breath held. For Russian command, it was a shock. Their vaunted air defense network had been challenged. An unknown entity had knocked, looked inside, and vanished, leaving only silence and questions. The event shattered confidence, exposing vulnerabilities in Russia's most protected region. The ghost over the Baltic was a warning. The rules of the game had changed. The silence that followed was more chilling than any explosion. The ghost was no phantom. It was the MQ-25 Stingray, the U.S. Navy's newest unmanned aerial vehicle. Designed as an autonomous refueling tanker, the Stingray's true power is its versatility. Its radar-absorbent blended-wing body makes it nearly invisible to detection. With over 15 hours of endurance, it can cross continents without landing. The MQ-25 extends the range of carrier-based fighters, freeing them from tanker duty. But it's more than a flying gas station. Its payload bay can carry sensors, electronic warfare gear, or even weapons. Its advanced AI allows it to operate with minimal human input, reacting to threats and making real-time decisions. This autonomy sets it apart from older drones, making it a persistent, adaptable presence. Deploying the MQ-25 to the Baltic was a strategic surprise. Its tanker label provided plausible deniability. Officially, it was testing navigation. In reality, it was collecting data and testing Russian defenses. The Stingray is not just hardware, it's a new tool for power projection. Its mission to expose vulnerabilities, gather intelligence, and send a message without firing a shot. The MQ-25 redefines what a drone can do in modern warfare. The operation began in darkness, launched from the USS Gerald R. Ford in the North Sea. The MQ-25 ascended silently, flying a complex route that skirted multiple nations' airspace. Its high-altitude, low-heat engine made it a whisper in the wind. The flight path exploited known radar gaps, programmed for maximum stealth. Nearing the Baltic, the Stingray activated its electronic warfare suite. It projected false targets, mimicked commercial airliners, and jammed enemy radar, turning Russian screens into chaos. The drone's true position was lost in a sea of digital ghosts. Once in position, just outside Kaliningrad's airspace, the MQ-25 began its real work. Its payload, a suite of intelligence sensors, passively collecting data. It mapped Russian air defenses, logged radar frequencies, and intercepted communications. The drone created a complete electronic picture of Russia's most sensitive outpost. After hours of silent observation, it turned west. Databanks full. The chaos on Russian screens faded as the ghost departed. Operators were left with dread. They'd been watched, studied, and outmatched. The MQ-25's mission had quietly altered the strategic landscape. Inside Chernihikovsk Air Base, disbelief turned to controlled panic. Technicians reran diagnostics. No malfunction. The data was real. An unknown object had toyed with their defenses for hours. The base commander reported a complex electronic attack and a low observable Arrive signature. We were blind. Publicly, Russia dismissed the incident as NATO provocation, insisting their defenses were intact. State media mocked the idea of an invisible American drone, but behind closed doors, a frantic investigation began. The Kremlin demanded answers. The psychological impact was severe. The S-400, once seen as invincible, had failed. Pilots felt exposed. Every radar glitch became a source of paranoia. The MQ-25 had planted a seed of doubt, spreading uncertainty through the ranks. Analysis was grim. The intruder had manipulated their systems, not just evaded them. This was a doctrinal failure, not just a technical one. Russia's air defense strategy was built on detection, but this threat had rewritten the rules. The technological gap was wider than imagined. Top generals saw the truth. This was a checkmate in a new, high-tech Cold War. The incident forced a painful reckoning with modern warfare's realities. The old certainties were gone. The MQ-25's flight was a masterclass in signaling. No bombs, just algorithms. To Russia the message was clear: your defenses can be bypassed, your territory is vulnerable. The US had punctured the A2AD bubble Russia built around Kaliningrad. It was a psychological blow, forcing Russia to rethink its strategy. For NATO allies, especially the Baltic states, the message was reassurance. The US could see through the fog of war and project power deep into contested areas. Article 5 was now backed by technological superiority, not just promises. The silent drone flight was a stronger guarantee than any speech. The operation also targeted China, signaling that US tactics could counter A2AD strategies in the Pacific. The Stingray's success in the Baltic was a warning to Beijing. The mission validated America's investment in unmanned systems and AI. It proved the future of warfare is autonomous, data-driven, and relentless. The operation boosted morale and showcased a tangible return on decades of research. The MQ-25 was no longer theory, it was a proven asset. The world had witnessed a new kind of power projection. The message was global and unmistakable. In the Russian command bunker, chaos reigned, screens filled with ghost signals, data impossible to trust. Lieutenants scrambled to cross-check reports, but nothing matched. The system screamed, "Attack!" But the sky was clear. General Orlov, stone-faced, watched phantom targets multiply. He ordered fighters to the perimeter, no visual, only confusion. Pilots reported clear skies, but their sensors were jammed with false warnings. It was like fighting a ghost in a hall of mirrors. Orlov, realizing the trap, ordered his pilots back, conceding the field to an invisible foe. Meanwhile, at the US Navy's command center in Naples, calm prevailed. Analysts monitored a crisp data stream from the MQ-25, managing the mission, not flying it. The Stingray's sensors mapped every Russian response in real time: radars, fighters, communications. The American admiral watched with quiet satisfaction. The operation was unfolding exactly as planned. The drone's AI navigated the electronic battle space better than any human. The intelligence gathered was a goldmine. Every Russian move, a piece of the puzzle. Naples wasn't just observing, it was dissecting Russia's nervous system live. The contrast was stark. Russian confusion versus American control. The future of warfare was on display, remote, data-driven, and relentless. The MQ-25 had turned the tables without a single shot. The lesson was clear. Information is the new high ground. After the incident, NATO's response was deliberate ambiguity. Spokespeople cited routine surveillance, neither confirming nor denying specifics. This silence let Russia save face, avoiding escalation, while the real message was clear to Moscow. Behind the scenes, MQ-25 data was shared with key NATO allies, an intelligence windfall. The mission refined electronic warfare tactics and strengthened alliance defense plans. The Pentagon statement was brief and technical, omitting any mention of Kaliningrad. This quiet confidence projected effortless superiority. Probing Russia's defenses was just another day. Such deniability is the hallmark of modern conflict, testing limits without open war. The MQ-25's mission was a move in the gray zone, a demonstration below the threshold of conflict. The US forced adversaries to recalculate, while the world wondered what else lurked unseen. The new era of power is defined by what remains unsaid. The Kaliningrad incident shifted the balance of power in Eastern Europe. Russia's A2AD fortress was exposed. Stealth and electronic warfare had found a backdoor. Now, Russia must invest billions to upgrade radars and counter new threats, opening a costly front in the arms race. The US achieved a strategic objective without firing a shot, forcing Russia onto the defensive. Globally, nations saw that expensive air defenses could be outwitted by a single advanced drone. The future of air dominance is about smart, stealthy, persistent unmanned systems. The MQ-25 set a new standard, validating years of US investment. Air power now means manned and unmanned aircraft working together, networked for maximum effect. The system of systems approach multiplies capability beyond numbers alone. The balance of power is now about the quality of the network, not just hardware. The rules of the game have changed forever. The MQ-25's flight was a turning point. The MQ-25's silent flight over the Baltic was more than a mission. It was the dawn of a new era. Autonomous, stealthy intelligence systems are now reality, not science fiction. Power is defined by invisible capabilities, not just visible might. Russia and China must now adapt. Their airspace no longer impenetrable. The technological gap breeds insecurity and new arms races. For the US and allies, the challenge is to stay ahead. Innovation is now survival. The MQ-25's success will be studied, copied, and challenged. The future belongs to those who master autonomy, AI, and networked warfare. The Kaliningrad incident was a warning. The pace of change is relentless. The world has entered a new aerial age, one where silent drones shape the fate of nations.